Hello, speakers. This is Brian, the speaker for the dead, coming to you today on the road. Sorry, I won't be looking directly at the camera a lot today, mainly because I'm driving while I do this, and I want to be able to focus on that primarily. But I wanted to kind of go over some thoughts that I've been having over the last couple of days. I've been watching some videos on YouTube and starting to see and as you can see from the news or anytime you look around, there's all these, things coming up for the 2020 election. So this is going to be a political video. So if you're not interested in politics, just go ahead and turn away right now and catch me on the next video. But I follow a girl on YouTube called ShoOnHead. It's kind of a weird name, but she's kind of funny to listen to. She's very anti-feminist. She comes across very much as a conservative, but she says she's not. She says she hates conservatism. She's a liberal. Well, I was watching a political video that she did the other day, and now I'm starting to believe that she actually is a liberal because she hates Trump. She doesn't like what's his bucket, Joe Biden, which good call there. He sucks. The thing is she likes Bernie Sanders, and she likes the young guy. I don't even know his name. There's like 500 Democratic candidates right now, and all of them are trying to out-psycho each other and be more woke than the last one. Kamala Harris comes to mind. She's a complete nut job. She's from California, so go figure. Anyway, I'm just driving along here, and it's just been on my mind a lot because I can't stand it. I can't stand this whole debate that we're having. Because everybody's like, well, if you like Trump, you're a racist, bigot, sexist, homophobe. He's not any of those things. The media calls him those things, and people lap it up and believe that nonsense. Okay, I don't like Donald Trump. Okay, I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for Hillary. I didn't vote in the last election. I didn't even vote. Now people are going to go, well, you're part of the problem. Okay, maybe so. But I felt like I was choosing between evil and evil. That's not a win. There's no win in that. Now, to his credit, Trump's proved me wrong. In so many ways, he has proved me wrong. He has been a way better president than I thought he was going to be. He's actually tried to keep his promises. All the stuff he said that I didn't believe for 1 minute he was actually going to do. He's actually been trying to do all of it, and he succeeded in quite a bit of it. But he's still such an unlikable person. Whenever I hear him speak, I just go, "Oh, just please stop talking. Please stop talking. Just because he's not good at convincing people about things or to do things. He's just not." Every time he opens his mouth, it's all about him. It's all about self-aggrandizement. I am the bestest, bestiest president ever. And, and that just, it's off-putting. I'm all for somebody saying, look, I tried to get this done. I've tried to be the president you guys asked me to be. I've tried to be, but it's the way he does it. And it's just his mannerism, but it bothers me. So I'm not a huge fan of him, but I am a fan of some of the things he's done. I am a huge fan of the fact that he moved the Israeli embassy to Jerusalem. That's where it should have been. That's their capital. I don't know why we've been being promised that by Republicans for 50 years. They were going to move that embassy to where it should have been the whole time, but we don't want to upset the Muslims. Who cares? The Muslims are mad at us all the time anyway. Who cares? Let's just do what's right. Screw what the Muslims want. Screw what the Islamic, Looney Tunes are going to care about. What are you doing? You're caring about the wrong people. Oh, so set the Middle East on fire. When was the last time the Middle East wasn't on fire? What a redundant statement. Anyway, so I understand her frustration. And I'm seeing a lot of that frustration. People are just looking for that next new thing. What was funny is that she was very sour on Obama, which is funny because all of these psychos now are just Obama 2.0s. They're just the next logical step in the psychotic chain. So she's not really gaining anything. She's going to get everything she wants and then realize, ooh, I don't think I wanted this. And it's sad because I really like her. She's very funny to listen to, and her rants on feminism are just epically funny. It's just sad when people get brainwashed about what conservatism is or isn't. It's really sad because conservatism is not racist, bigot, homophobe, blah, 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 all this nonsense that they're constantly throwing at us. Conservatism is rule of law. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Rule of law. Do what's right. It's real simple stuff. It's 10 Commandments kind of stuff. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. Freedom is the paramount concern. It's the most important thing. Rights. God-given human rights. That's what conservatism is all about. And anything above and beyond that, that's somebody's interpretation of conservatism. And it's wrong. She went on a site one day called Conservapedia. And she was, reading all these things off of there that conservatives supposedly believe. Well, no, that's some conservative person throwing their psychotic Christian views out there and saying this is what this is what conservatism is. You can't speak for all conservatives. Once you peel away all that veneer and stuff like that, and don't get me wrong, I am a Christian. I'm a Latter-day Saint. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in all that stuff. But I don't believe in using it as a weapon, as a bludgeon to force people to do what I want them to do. I am very much an individualist. And my rights end where your rights begin, and vice versa. That is the paramount rule. You have all the rights in the world until you start to infringe on my freedoms. And once that happens, boom, your rights end. And my vice versa. Same thing. That is the paramount concern. That is the beauty of the Constitution. The Constitution sets up those limits perfectly. It keeps government, or tries to keep government, from stepping on us, and it tries to keep us from stepping on each other. We've lost that, though. The sad thing is that all these liberals who think they're liberals, and yet they're starting to fight against some of the stuff on their own side, they don't realize they're conservatives. Okay, you don't call yourself a conservative, call yourself whatever you want, but you're still a conservative because you're holding up our views. And that's our biggest failure. And it's the problem with people like Donald Trump. He can't communicate what conservatism is. And so people mislabel it or misunderstand what it means. Or, the left and the media try and define what we are. And because there's nobody stepping up who can really actually counter their arguments, it looks like that's what we are. We're not. We need people who can get out there and speak to what conservatism really is. It's one of the reasons I love Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is probably one of the best at articulating conservative beliefs. And Dinesh D'Souza, I think I said his name right. He's another one. He's a little argumentative, I think, and gets a little bit like in people's faces too much. And then that's when you start to lose people. I've been a big fan of Glenn Beck and stuff, but I'm not sure what happened to Glenn, but he's kind of on and off the rails, and I can't quite figure out where he's at anymore. I love Pat Gray, though, the guy that worked with him and works with him still, because he's stayed, boom, dead on straight, and it's never, he doesn't waffle around. And Glenn spends a lot of time waffling now, where he didn't before. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be open to changing your opinions. I absolutely believe that. That's one of the problems, is conservatives, we're just terrible at communicating what we believe. We let other people define us, as I said before. And that's our biggest mistake. We can't do that. We got to stop letting other people define us, and get out there and show what we really believe. Until we do that, I don't see anything changing. I don't know. I'm really scared for what's going to happen, because if one of these psychos that's running on the Democratic side gets in, game over. Game over, because they're telling us exactly what they're planning to do. They want to take away guns. They want to take away freedoms. They want to take away your rights. They want to uphold and increase rights that were never rights. The right to abortions and all that kind of nonsense, which that goes back to the my rights end where your rights begin. The second you become pregnant as a woman, you've got another set of rights to worry about. It's not just you anymore. You have, by your own choices, involved the rights of another human being. And now you can't just terminate those rights. That's immoral, that's illegal, it's disgusting. And where abortion has gone in our country is just sickening. It is foul. The lengths to which they are going now. These bills and stuff to where they're actually saying you can kill a child after it's born if you decide you don't want it. Really? That's where we are? Good Lord. I mean, I just bring on the fire and brimstone at this point. I mean, every day I start to see like the end time signs more and more and more, brought on by these idiots who don't understand whose side they're really on. I mean, I'm sorry, but I believe very strongly in a good and evil. And if you're not on the side of good, you're on the side of evil. And the side of evil, whether you want to call that Satan, whatever, if you don't believe in Satan or whatever, I mean, I'm sorry, but there's evil. And Satan is evil personified. And that was his big push. If you read the Bible, you understand how the plan of salvation works, how the world works through religious means. That was his big plan. That he was going to take away our freedoms and force us to do what was right. And we wouldn't have a choice. That was what the war in heaven was fought over, was our rights, our freedoms, free agency. And these people that are down here, they're on his side and they don't even know it. Whether you believe in him or not, he believes in you. It's the same with God. Whether you believe in him or not, he believes in you. It's sad and it's scary to see what's happening to us. You know, and Ronald Reagan said it and he put it best. You know, America is the last best hope for Earth. And I'm paraphrasing there. But if we fall, there is no one else to pick it up, to pick up the torch of freedom. If we let it go out, we're done. As a world, we're done. Because we are the bright beacon. We are the city on the hill. And if that goes out, the world turns to darkness. Because there's nobody trying to lead the way. And we've stopped leading the way a long time ago. I mean, when we've got Christian leaders and people holding Donald Trump up as this great paramount leader. The man is immoral. He's thoughtless in his speech. He's cruel and he's manipulative. Now, unfortunately, that's kind of what we needed. Because to fight evil, sometimes you got to call it what it is. But like I say, he's not articulate enough to actually pull that off and do it well, so people understand what side they're really on. And all these people who are so against Trump, it's hilarious. You are the same people who didn't want Mitt Romney for president, who was a center of the road Republican, who's a good man, a decent guy. I don't agree with everything he wanted to do. I think he was a little too wish-washy. But I mean, you brought out and acted like, you know, Mitt Romney was the devil. So you got 4 more years of Obama. Well, 4 more years of Obama bought you Donald Trump. Because Obama and all the libtards on your guys' side of the aisle, you wouldn't listen. You marginalized. You wouldn't participate with any of us. You wouldn't listen to what we wanted to do. You just threw us under the bus and said, I don't care, we're going to do it our way. Well, this is what happens when you do that. The other side goes, oh yeah? Watch this. Pardon me. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I seriously, I don't know who to vote for in this next election again, because like I say, I like some of the things that Donald Trump's done, but I still don't like him as a human being, and I don't like him as a communicator, because he doesn't really speak for me. When I hear him up there talking, he's just talking for himself. Every once in a while, he'll give a speech where I feel like, wow, somebody sat him down, reined him in, and said, look, this is not all about you. You need to read this speech because this is what the American people need to hear. He gave a speech on the day of prayer or something like that. He's given a couple where I was just like, wow, if he actually believes this, how can he act and live his life the way he does? But then I feel that and think that about a lot of Christians. So, anyway, I know this is pretty much just a straight, plain Jane political thing, but every once in a while I want to do these kind of videos, and they may not be popular, but I want people to know where I stand, because, you know, all, as the old saying goes, all it takes for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing. Well, at the very least, I can speak out and try and call out these dark things that are happening. And you know in your heart of hearts what's good and what's bad. We all have that. We're all born with that. We just have to listen to it. We need to turn off all this negativity in our lives and listen to the Spirit, and it'll tell us the right way to go. You know, God's just waiting there to help us find the right path. We just have to choose to follow it. And I have my days where that's a problem for me. So everybody does. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think, what you're scared about. I'm scared to death by Bernie Sanders. Anybody who does their hair with a balloon, you know, what he wants to do is scary. Most of what all the Democratic candidates want to do is scary, and not one of them can tell you how they want to pay for any of it, because they can't. There isn't enough money in the United States to do what those idiots want to do. Doesn't stop them from saying it, though. They'll bankrupt the world trying to give everybody free this and free that. Well, yeah, every time that happens, it doesn't work out well. So, I don't know. I hope things turn out better than the way they look, but I don't see how. But I mean, we're going down a road where there is no good ending anymore. So, anyway, have a great day, and keep your chin up. Don't worry. I mean, be worried, but we'll make it through this. We just got to band together, focus on the good, and try and be there for each other. That's the important thing. Because even if everything else crumbles, we can keep all this stuff alive in our hearts. And that's where we got to plant all this stuff. We've got to plant the seeds of the Constitution, and the seeds of the Bill of Rights, and the seeds of the Bible, and in my case, the Book of Mormon, in our hearts, because that's where they'll be safe, and that's where they'll keep us from going off the cliff with everybody else. We don't have to be a lemming. Just remember that. We don't have to follow the crowd. Hope you have a great day. Talk to you next time.